everybody, this is Christine Bertram, and I am coming to you live from the Hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. I was trying to fix the flyaway hairs before I went live, and apparently I missed them, so they do this thing every now and then, but yay, we're here. It doesn't matter what my hair looks like, right? It's been one of those awesome, amazing days already. You guys wouldn't even believe what we've accomplished already this morning. So, yeah, got up. That's always a good thing, right? Get up and get started about the day. Today was the day that my new blinds got put in. I bought the house in 2010 and blinds got put in back then. And we're talking 15 years now, right? Something like that, 12, 14 to 15 years. And over the course of the years, they all started, not all, they start breaking one by one because they were the top down, bottom up ones without the crazy pull cords. And little by little, they all broke. And so back in June, July, when we started the remodel project, most of them came down. And so we've been without blinds in the house for a while. And that's okay, it's fine. But you can't walk around in your underwear, right? When you have the blinds up, when you don't have blinds, otherwise all the neighbors will be peeping in and looking, right? So back on Black Friday, or that weekend, the Home Depot had an amazing sale, 50% off their blinds. And I went with the Bali blinds and they got ordered back. So Black Friday, and today was the day. Ezra came. He's been with Home Depot for 10 to 15 years, 10 years maybe. And he called last week and he scheduled the appointment for today. And he scheduled it for 2 hours. I said, you have 23 blinds. Are you sure you're gonna get that done in 2 hours? Yeah, I'm sure. I'm like, okay, I trust you. And then I started to talk to Diane and I did the math. And that's 5 minutes a blind. He was done in 2 hours. He really did. And so there are blinds up and it's awesome. It's a lot. It was a major investment, blinds in the house, you guys, but it needed to be because they were broken and you get them fixed. And plus with the remodel project, there were 4 new windows upstairs. The blinds in the downstairs, they were I was going to say crap. They're crap. They never worked. And then there was only one blind that wasn't broken that we thought, well, let's just fix it. Let's just replace it so that it is all unanimously all the same brand and all fresh and every night. So yay, so wonderful. So he was over at 9. And then over the last couple days, the dishwasher starts to leak. Not the dishwasher, but the hosing underneath the sink that's leading from the dishwasher starts to leak. And so we ran the dishwasher on Friday night. And there was a pool of water underneath the sink, so everything has to come out, right? It's not just all in nicely organized in buckets or anything, so everything's got to come out. And yep, that sat on the counter since Friday, 4 days or 3 days, whatever it is. Everything sat on the counter. And then in the interim, Tyler said, well, your valve, so Tyler was trying to fix it for me, and then the valves were broken, or not broken, but corroded, and wanting to get them replaced. And Tyler couldn't get the water off in the house last night because the valve was not open for 4 years and there's so much calcium and minerals in the Fond du Lac water that it was tough. And so thank goodness my parents have an amazing plumber and they told me just text him last night. You guys, he was over at my house today at 10 o'clock. So I had the plumber here at 10. He worked on everything for an hour. And in the interim, Diane and I are designing cards. So from Diane was over at 9:30 and we got 2 cards designed in the interim and we finished off one class being designed. So yeah, anyways, that's me in a nutshell since 9 o'clock this morning. So 4 hours, fun stuff. I had a very productive day. And so we have class with you now. It is, did I even say welcome? Live from the Hive, Christine Bertram here from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. I don't even remember you guys. I'm just so excited about everything that's been getting done. And I think I was more worried about that, like the hair doing this when I first started. But yeah, all's going well. It is frigidly cold here in Wisconsin. I think we are at 0 or something about there. Tomorrow is going to even be worse. I think we're in the negatives even with the wind chill, like -13, but super cold. And I see Linda Krause said too, -29 Celsius in Manitoba, Canada. Hi, Julie Bontringer. Hi, Sherry Ott. There's Faith Godby. Hi, Doris Munson. Angelique is here. Hi, Jeannie Curtis. Hi, Debbie Lindauer. Whoop, whoop. It's freezing in Milwaukee. Yes, it sure is. Hi, Randy. Hi, Linda Kester. And there's Ann Bellinger. Hi, Mary Carls. Hello and good afternoon. Yes, I hope everybody is staying warm too. Hey, Debbie Gast. Keep warm and craft. So the guy here, his name is Ezra. He is the one that put the blinds up, and he was enamored with the crafting. Diane and I were crafting and designing cards while he was installing blinds in the room, and he loves cats. And he said, "You're YouTube," and I told him I did YouTube, and he's like, you should be cards and cats with Christine." Or like cats and cards with Christine. Like he's trying to think of a name. I'm like, well, I'm already kind of like generic cards by Christine, but he's like, you need to have something with cats in there. I guess he loved cats. So anyways, it was fun talking with him. Hi, Connie Moore. Back from your cruise. Wonderful. And -1 for you this morning. Ooh, not good to come back to. And there's Sharon Smith. Hi, Mary Novak. Hi, Barbara Rudolph. Hi, Yvette Lopez. There's Rose Garibaldi. And there's Barbara Hartfield from Canada. Yay. There's Jamie Kirkpatrick. Hi, Jean Terwilliger. Hi, Mona. Who else do we have? There's Julie Damaris. Am I saying that right, Julie? Damaris. Sometime we'll have to chat on the phone. You'll have to tell me. You can walk around now how you want your house. It's the neighbor's problem. If they are nosy, you want to give them something to look at. Exactly. So in our stout room last night, where we actually got the fireplace hooked up to this last weekend, we burned the fire and we sat in the room last night. All 3 cats and Tyler and I, we had not sat in that room since probably in June, and it was a monumental moment for us to actually be back in Tyler's favorite room of the house, is that one. And all the kittens were there along with me. He was a happy guy. Oh, hi, Suzanne Deppes. Hi, Deb Norman. There's Sherry Martin. Hi, Pat Hawk. And who else do we have here? -42 for Barbara tonight. Ooh, yuck. Hi, Kelly. All right, lots of things. I'm excited, super excited to make the Let's Just Stamp cards with you, but I know you've been hearing me, and I've been saying that we got a card class design today. We did get the Everyday Arches, or Everyday, whatever it's called. Is it Everyday Arches? Everyday Arches is the name of the bundle. The suite is called something else. It's an online exclusive, and we pulled it in for the IPS class next month. We have that done, and it's not 4 cards, it's 5 cards. Yep, we couldn't stop at 4. We had to do 5. And then we also got, last week, we got Let's Just Stamp done. I can't remember if we did it Thursday or Friday. I might have shown them to you Thursday night, or we designed them Friday. I can't remember, but I have Let's Just Stamp to share with you. We have a game plan on the table over here. The Memories and More class is all laid out, not put together, but all of the cards are married up. Like the designing is kind of coming together with matching everything up. So that's going to come out over the next 2 days. And then tomorrow we're going to work on the suite class, and Wednesday we're going to work on the monthly class. And then the goal is, after I get back from Florida on Tuesday, is to do the showcase. So just a reminder, as I show you these card classes, I love it if you tell me you want them, but if you could hold, like in the live, great. But in the communication, if you could hold off on emailing me that you want them, because it's always best to send one email with all the classes listed, or one text or one Facebook message with all of them. So you could start drafting your email for what's going to come up in February. And after you watch the showcase, that's when you can kind of finalize it and send it in. And we're going to have a new process for the enrollments for classes and stuff with me. And I'm going to do my best to sneak in a navigation video on the afternoon, sometime Wednesday or Wednesday morning. I got to think, it's going to have to be like after class on Wednesday. So I'm thinking about doing a navigation video and talking about the everything video for me, and it'll explain the new process in there. But I am also super excited to share something with you. So I'm curious if you guys want a sneaky peek. Kelly has already invested over, I'd have to say 25 hours. I know at one point it was 15, and then another time, she works in batches of 4.5 to 4 hours, and then her brain becomes mush. So big kudos to Kelly for this. I'm curious if you guys want to see what she has already prepared for you for the shopping guide. It is the culmination of all 4 catalogs that Stampin' Up! Has published. So sale-a-bration, the annual, the spring mini, and the scrapbooking brochure, along with the online exclusives. If you want to see, I'll drop my screen down. I have my computer in front of me because I have a hunch that you guys are going to want to see this. Hi, Bridget Rowe. If you want to see it, I'll share the screen and I'll pop it down. Pop it like it's hot. Right, Angelique? Pop it like it's hot. I'll pop it down. and then we'll get going with class. I don't know if I have many other announcements. I did have a lot. You guys, if you didn't watch the Share a Recipe, Create a Card, Inspire Others class from last week, Wednesday, that was a really good one to watch. If you wanted an update about what's going on in life and with my business and with enrollments and just stuff, that one, we made one card. It took a half hour. And thanks to Millie Kindle, she gave us her recipe. But for the other 2 hours, it seemed like the other hour and 45 minutes, we chatted about a lot of stuff. And you guys got to see Honey at her finest. I've been hearing so much from people that they loved watching Honey fetch. And that was so cute. So yes, you guys want to see it. Okay, let me pull up. So I don't know how it's going to look on my computer, like through the camera, because I don't have I'm going to like have to hold my computer. I have the mouse. Okay, hang on. Let me make a little room here and make sure I have this so that the screen can go flat. I don't have one of those. I don't have a laptop that the toppy goes backwards. I have a regular laptop. All right, so if you guys remember, we're calling it the Beekeeper's Bible. So I'm gonna see if I can zoom in so you guys can see this, like in a hole like this, and I can move with the mouse. All right, let's go. I'm just gonna put it over here. I think that should be fine. So first page, Beekeeper's Bible. And there's going to be another page in here that has more information about me. So like this is Meet Your Demonstrator. And then the next page is going to have my classes, where you can find my past classes, about the resources link, and probably joining my team, right? So I'm making this book. I'm going to make it so that it applies to me. And then here was all the bees in the hive. So basically the table of contents. And this is an old version. We have reordered this. And I'll be honest, we're ordering it the way that we want it, not Stampin' Up. So to me, color collections and the coordination that Stampin' Up offers is one of the most important things that Stampin' Up has to offer. And it makes it so easy for you to be creative because everything coordinates. So instead of it being the last thing, and no, like, I'm not like knocking anything. I'm just telling you why we're doing it, what's important to us. Like they have it as the last thing, and there's probably a strategic reason that they put it in the back. But from a crafter and a designer's perspective, I want to open up the book and I want to see the colors. And so we put the color collections first and foremost, and then we roll into everything else. And the order of it is like what I like to see things in. Okay, so just putting it out there, like this book. The reason that we came up with like that this book is going to be happening is because I personally want it the most, okay? So we're making it so that it works for me. So we have color collections, more, sweets, bundles, stamps, dies, punches, embossing folders. We've got designer papers, specialty papers, and from there we're gonna roll into memory keeping, ephemera, scrapbooking. So we're moving that up. And then we're gonna have card bases and envelopes, ribbons and trim, embellishments, adhesive tools, I think storage, paper pumpkin kits, and then miscellaneous at the end. And then we will have a colony, or AKA the index, at the end. So fun stuff. Hi, Kari Dwyer. All right. So color collections, and all we did was like she copy pasted. You guys, hours, 25 hours. She's already spent putting this together. So we get all the color collections first, and then in colors, the basics. You guys, I don't know about you, but I don't know where stuff is. So I don't know where to go look for envelopes. I don't know where the thick white paper is. I don't feel like memorizing it to just see words of it and not to see a picture, right? Because I like to see a picture next to it with item numbers and costs. Okay, so we really are doing that. Hi, Jody. Agree, the color families should be first. Yes, of course, want a peek, yay. Okay, so, and then there's more. So color collections and more. So we have your pastels, your watercolor pencils, your Stella pen is used for coloring in my mind. The enamels add color, brushes. We have blending pens, the palettes, stuff. Okay, and I'm gonna preface that this is not done. So we only have primarily the first page of every category. It was to get a feel for how many pictures we can put on a page. I did consult my friends that were here this weekend for class, and we talked about what's too small for a picture and what's needs to be bigger for a picture. Things like this that were more like tools, we left them smaller, but things like kits and stamps and dies and punches, those we have a little bit bigger. Okay, so as you guys are looking through this, if there's any feedback, do not hesitate to email me, okay? Email me. Don't text or Facebook message. If you email me, I can forward it to Kelly and I can give her your input after I've reviewed it, right? So that's it. So I know that you guys looking at this right now, it looks small, but when you print it off, you're going to be able to see it a little bit better. But we kept the tools at 16 up, all right? And then here she's got, and more, embossing powders add color, and then all this random ink with Stays On and Mementos and the Stays On cleaner all together in the beginning. And then we move on to sweets. And so we only have 2 sweets to show for, hi, Chris Robinson. So again, we only have like 1 page of everything, and she started with this. So mixed media floral, she's got Floral Delight. It's gonna have a half page, and it'll have what is in the sweet. Now, it has the sweet number, but it at this moment, it's a lot of work for her to manually look up and type things, okay? She's trying to copy and paste as much as she can. So in my mind, and I don't know if it'll be an after thing, or maybe I can sit with her and we tag team it. Personally, I will be honest with you, I want to see like the bee trinket item number, and I do want to see the ribbon number. I'd want to see the numbers next to them in case you do want to order them separately. But again, I got to work with her. The other thing, I don't know, you can't hardly see it, but right here, it has the released by date. So released by January 2025. So each item in this book is going to have where it came from. Where is the true source? So is it AC, annual catalog? Is it SMC, spring mini catalog? Is it OE, online exclusive? Is it SAB, sale-a-bration? Or is it the scrapbooking brochure, which is SB, right? So it's gonna have that plus the year with it, okay? So cool, right? So we're gonna have that reference. So you could always go back to the actual source to see more, okay? Okay, yes. So we'll talk about that, Pat, when it will be available and how much it will cost, right? Because I've got some information for you on that. Bundles, 10% savings. And now here's your bundles. Everyday You and Me bundle, meant to be bundle, right? So a little thing on here that we're also adding, because Carissa talked to us over the weekend and she said that she sometimes doesn't realize that a stamp coordinates with a punch or a stamp coordinates with a die set. So she asked if we could somehow coordinate that. And so it'll be a little tag teaming with me and Kelly that she has it open. And I know what stuff has dies and punches, but we're going to have a C. Nope, not a C. An S. Like, so if it's in the die section and it has a stamp set that matches, we'd have an S next to it. Like in the top corner or something here, we'll have like an S. Or like right now we're in bundles, so it doesn't matter. But let's say we're in punches and it has a stamp set that matches, we'd have an S. And that will be like a little indicator like, hey, there's a coordinating something. Or if you're in the stamps, it has a punch or a die or both like that one does, it'll have a P and a D, right? For punches and dies. All right, so here's your sheet of bundles. We have bundles at 2 up. You should sell this idea. You know, I did sell the idea to Stampin' Up. I talked to my DDM, and I don't know where it went after that. So let's just say I did. I tried, Deb. I tried. And I'll be honest with you. In a weekly leadership meeting thing I saw, that they don't ever intend to put online exclusives into a catalog. So this would never, ever be able to be feasible because they don't intend to put online exclusives in a catalog. So I tried, okay? So when you try and you don't get what you want, you make it yourself, right? Okay, anyways, nothing bad. Not knocking anybody. Just saying a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. All right, here are your stamps. Stamps are going to be 9 up, all right? And then we have dies. Dies are going to be 9 up. Can you imagine everything all together? You're trying to design for a class like me, or you're trying to design for yourself because you want to make an awesome card. And you're like, oh man, what circle is out there? I need to see circles. Okay, well, there's some circles. And then, all right, they're not going to be in alphabetical order. The order of this, just you guys are getting a little preview here. The order is going to be based on chronological order by item number. So this is going to be how it is to begin. And then when there's more added, it'll get added at the end in chronological order. And if something is not available, out of inventory, and not ever coming back and no longer in the online store, it's coming out of this too. Okay, so we are updating it 3 times a year. All right, punches, super amazing, 9 up. Embossing folders, all together in one universe right here. Ribbons and now this is not quite in the order I talked about because we talked for about a half hour yesterday when we realigned our table of contents. But all your ribbons and trims in one central spot, your embellishments in all one spot. And she did take those 2 ribbons out. They're not there anymore. So you don't need to tell me, hey, you've got 2 ribbons in with your embellishments. We know. So we kept the embellishments and the ribbons at 16 up because it's one item generally and you can see it easy enough. It's the stuff that has a lot going on in the picture that we took out. So designer and specialty papers, they got back to 9 up, so you can really see them. And then we have card bases and envelopes. Now, again, this is not the order. These are just the categories. We have a whole section just for adhesives. We have all the tools will be together. And at the end of the tools, there's going to be some blank space. Now, every index header, I guess you could say, like tools is its own category, right? So she has header breaks so that if we get to the end of a category, it's going to leave blank space. And that is because she has a page break at every index kind of category. If she wouldn't, some of the stuff in these tools would end up halfway down the page. But I am excited to say we thought about this over the weekend. What could we do, like especially in the tools section? We're going to put the craft caddy in here. Ta-da! We're going to put the craft caddy in here. We're also going to add the adhesive eraser. We're going to add an ink eraser. I think if I can, I have some of these tweezer bees here. We're going to add the cloth garbage. And you know it, what's the other thing? We're going to add the bow maker, right? And so there'll be a whole little section here for my things that are special, that are not Stampin' Up. Like Stampin' Up doesn't have them. So yeah, pretty cool. Storage is here. Just sent an email about adding colors to the embellishments. Ooh, okay, that's a good idea, Debbie. Yep, I get it. And you know, the hardest part is doing all the legwork on the front end. Once it's just updating, it's not so bad. But that's a good point, Debbie. Like you guys have really asked for having the colors. So I think that makes sense too. Now, kits, we talked about kits. They're not going to be 16 up because there's such a lot going on in the little picture. We're going to make them 9 up, and kits are moving to the end more. I'm doing kits and paper pumpkin last. Sorry, guys. I think I use kits and paper pumpkin the least amount in my business. Not to say that I don't like them. I filter them toward the end because, you know, I told Kelly does the kits and the paper pumpkin classes. I'm like, Kelly, no offense, but we're putting them towards the back. All right. And then we'll have a section here for paper pumpkin. So it's got the prepaid and the month to month. And then it's got anything that's currently available in the online store is going to be in here. You've got a whole memory keeping section here where the memories and more is in here, and the books and all that good stuff. She did put the DSP and stickers are in this category, but now we move this up to where the DSP is. And oh, Mimi said the craft caddy is a game changer. I know. I have 3 of them. I have one here, one at my filming station upstairs, and 5 feet away from it, I have one at my desk. Ephemera packs are going to be in here. Scrapbook workshop kits. Yay, they're here, girls and boys. And then at the end, we have legal. Now, there really isn't anything for the miscellaneous section at the moment because I think we found homes for everything. And my mouse is not wanting me to go like, I gotta go like this. Okay, so that's really fast. So that's it in a nutshell. At the moment, I think she had it up to 50 pages. And it might be 100 pages by the time it's done. But it's going to be the most amazing document that I think a Stampin' Up! Enthusiast or demonstrator or crafter will ever want or need at the moment because everything is together. And I absolutely love paper. I'm a crafter and I love the touch, the feel, the smell of paper. Not cotton, paper. Like my planner is paper. And if I'm feeling overwhelmed, I know you guys are. I'm not going to just assume that. I have to know that because I've heard it and I have feedback. So my goal for you guys is to have an amazing shopping experience and that you can see everything in one place. And then you can go shopping. Then you can go to the online store and like book good. And then you could go to your demonstrator, whoever that may be, and say, this is what I want, right? It's all in one central place. So with that, the question is, when is it going to be available and how much is it going to cost? Let me just put this back here. Just hang tight. I'll put that here. So when is it going to be available? Well, I had every hope and desire for it to be ready tomorrow. When Kelly's here, she's helping me out again tomorrow. Hi, Mary Schreiber. So that I could have it for my narrating or my navigation. So I'm calling it my navigation video. I wanted to have it for my navigation video, but I really need to do the navigation video before I leave. So you guys have time to watch that while I'm in Florida. So that I come back from Florida, I can do the showcase video and you guys know the whole new process for doing class enrollments. Don't feel overwhelmed or uncertain about that, you guys. There's going to be a little bit of a transition And if you had seen the share a recipe, create a card, inspire others class last week, I really talked about it for probably a half hour about the whole transition to an email, one single email for enrollments. It's going to help me be able to provide better customer service for you guys. And I didn't like having to go to 4 places for one thing. And it's actually 5 places. Okay. To me, it's 5 because you have 4 catalogs and you have an online store. So to me, it was like 5 things. Because I forgot we have a sale-a-bration catalog. So there's going to be a spot in there for sale-a-bration. So you guys can look in the one document, the Beekeeper's Bible, and have the sale-a-bration in there at the end. And now you're probably wondering, well, it's going to only be there for 2 months. Well, it's just going to have a note at the top that says this is only available until February 28th, right? So we have that kind of stuff. So I talked about, so I wanted it like timing. I really wanted it for tomorrow. It's not going to happen for tomorrow. I said to Kelly, I do not want to publish this and then find out that we missed this or we didn't add this or this. So I'm going to do a soft publication of it to a few of my closest stamping buddies like Diane or Carissa or people with and Karen Wetson, people with the eagle eyes, and be like, okay, we missed this, or okay, we're gonna have some proofreaders look at it first, and then when I know it's 100% solid, then it's gonna become available. And I talked about to 10 people about this, what I should do with this document, and I've decided that I provide my catalogs to my customers for free. I have for years. What does it mean to be my customer? I have to put a threshold on that. So we looked at it. I talked to Carissa. She helps me keep my records. And what we decided is if anybody has, in 2024, if you've spent $50 in Stampin' Up! Products with me, or if you've bought $50 worth of classes from me, that this would be a gift to you from me. And it would continue to be a gift as long as you've placed that with me. It's a service that I want to provide to my customer base because they support me in my crazy business, right? My small business, it's crazy, it is, but I want to provide this. And I know it's taken Kelly 30 hours and I have to compensate her somehow for this. So I've decided that it is going to be available for purchase. And I'm hoping that if enough people help purchase it, it will help offset what I need to compensate Kelly for helping me with it, right? She doesn't just, she's not doing it out of the kindness. She is doing it because it's going to make a difference, but I have to reward her somehow for this, right? So I'm going to put it for sale, and I'm going to put it for sale in my online store for $15. And I talked about the pricing with 10 people, and because of the plethora of the amount of work it is, like $5 wasn't too much, was too little, $20 is too much. I don't want to be the demonstrator that is taking advantage of other demonstrators with stuff either. So to me, it was like not even a question to do it for 20. So it was between 10 and 15. And the general feedback I got from people was that this is a massive document and they would pay $15 for it. So that was the general thing. I talked to crafters on my team and not on my team. And the general thought was that they would pay $15 for this document. And then you would take it and you would go get it printed. And hi Marilyn Durford, hi Debbie Stone. I don't know why you can't hear me, but I think everybody else can hear me. Oh, I was going to say, am I on mute? After all this time, Angelique would have been calling me like very, very fast. So hi Deanna Stell. All right, so it is going to be in my online store for $15, and it's going to be updated 3 times a year. Massive updates are going to be done 3 times a year. And how it's going to work is they release online exclusives in March, July, and November. So Kelly's going to create a supplement. So anybody, and this is going to take a lot of coordination, but anybody who gets this first version will also get the add-on supplement in March, is how we looked at it. And then what I'll do is in May, when the May one is available, what I will do is I'm going to go back just till January. And I'm always going to go back to the first month that the catalog launches. And if somebody has done $50 in classes or orders between like January and let's say May 1st, they would get it, and they'll also get the supplement in July when it happens. And then when we work on the next one in September, I'll look at who's ordered based off of May, June, July, August, and then they would get that one. So it's going to be a rolling thing, and I have the ability to run all those numbers because we keep good track of all of the class signups. We keep track of all the orders. We've got a massive database that we keep track of it. And so for this first one, I'm going to be a little bit like more open. I'm just going to say, hey, let's look at 2024. And if you've supported me in 2024, it's a nice little gift for you. And then going forward, it's going to be based off of the previous 4 months. And for anybody that wants to buy it, it's in my online store. It'll be $15. And I'll also include the supplement when the next supplement comes. So let's say you buy this first one for $15, you'll get the supplement that we make in March. And then if you want to buy the one in May, you'd get the supplement that we do in July. And I'll just have to keep track of all that. But because Chris is helping me do my enrollments, I will have time to work on this kind of stuff more. So hi, Polly Libby. And so the other thing is, sorry, my nose itched. I feel like I'm getting cold in here. Like I had a sweatshirt on, I was running around, and now all of a sudden I'm in here by myself and it's cold. So, and then the temperature changes and my nose runs. But that's how that goes. I bet everybody else says the same thing. If you do any events with me too, if you have done the Winter Creative Escape, the Stamp and Fun in the Sun last year, or the Autumn Escape, that counts, you guys. That is supporting me in my business, and those cost money. And so that's how I look at it. If you bought, I even look at it as if you bought a caddy, but a caddy is only $20 or $25. So I'm going to look at the threshold of $50. And if you haven't, and you would like to, you could place an order using my host code, get a class for free if it's over $60, and then you get this catalog for free too. So yay. All right. How's that sound? Does that sound fair? I really thought about this. I actually struggled with it a little bit, and I just didn't want to feel like anybody, I don't like to take advantage of people. And so I didn't want to overprice it, but I also didn't want to underprice it and sell myself short with all of the time and energy that is invested in it. Anne says, hi from Kentucky. Hi, Anne from Kentucky. Does the Creative Escape count towards as a purchase? Yes, Linda Kester. Yes, my friend. And I think you did both escapes. And I think you did the Stamp and Fun in the Sun with me last year too. And if you didn't, just doing those 2 escapes, because the escapes, you guys, are for non-team members are $130. And so yes, Linda, I count that. Krista has a way of running, basically she has a master spreadsheet that has your name on it, and she has everything that you've done with me. Yeah, and it is very helpful to go back and look at that. So, Sherry said it's very fair, and Deb says it's very fair. Perfect. Okay, cool. So that's exciting stuff, you guys. Yay. All right, now are you ready to see some cards? Can you tell I'm super excited? I don't know if I went to bed any earlier than I normally do, but I feel refreshed because the plumbing is fixed and the blinds are up, and we got a class designed this morning. So let me go back here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. All right, so we didn't get it complete, like we got it finished today. We started on Friday, and we got 2 cards done on Friday, and then we had to finish the other ones today. All right, very good. I had trouble finding the right die for a sentiment. The old catalogs were great for helping with the dies. I would definitely buy, yes. And Marilyn Durbin, I feel like you've done an event with me, and I think, Marilyn, if I run the reports from last year, you might have supported me with that, the amount that we need. So just before anybody buys it, and just hold tight, right? Because I don't want you to buy it if I can provide it for you as a gift. Okay. So and now this is like a sneaky peek. Everyday Arches is what's coming up for the ink, paper, scissors next month. Just to show you guys. Again, if you like the class, just hold the phone and just write that you like this one. You could, in fact, use my, oh man, I don't even have it out here, the new little calendar, the calendar that I created, and you could put like want, like next to it. So awesome. This one, you guys will recognize, and we were able to do all the envelopes, the flaps to match, because you get the 6x6 paper with this one. So we have 5 cards, not 4. We have 5. This one you will see is, and I'm missing an envelope. It must be upstairs. This one is our double dipper. I feel you are more than generous with the cost. Perfect. A lot of useful information. Great. It's going to be the most amazing reference tool you guys could ever imagine. So these are the 5 cards, and you guys will recognize this one if you did the escape with me. This is our double dipper. I do have to swap out the ribbon, because for this ribbon, you get the white and the petal pink one, and we just have to swap that out for petal pink ribbon. But that one is with that arch. And then next we made this. We definitely cased this we went onto Pinterest and we found somebody that did these arches that they were glued together. And so this is your sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, and it's embrace the journey. So happy to celebrate you, embrace the journey, and best wishes. So awesome of a card. It fits in your A2 envelope with your matchy envelope. Fun stuff, right? We like this. We were super proud of this. And the back, you could even decorate the back if you wanted to figure it out a way. Now, you guys, you do not need to have this stamp set or the dies to do this class with us. We are going to be providing the white arches cut out, and you actually are going to use your own scissors like we did. We use our scissors and we cut them. Now, if you have the dies and you want the stitching, you could definitely die cut, but we didn't. We are going to provide these die cut pieces, and then you are going to put it together. So there's the second card. And then the next card we made was this one, and it features the blueberries with the melons and another arch. I mean, it's hard to be very creative when it's all arches in that stamp set. So we made that one into a sending hugs and a hello card. And then we did this one. Now, for our prototype here, for our sample, we went with a smaller arch, but there is one that's slightly bigger. So just telling you, when you guys get yours, you're gonna have just a little bit bigger of an arch, and it'll fill up more of that space. But we made this one into an easel card so that it pops up like this. And then you have your inside with the pretty designer paper to match. And you could put some sort of a sentiment up here. We just didn't have anything that was handy at the moment. But for this one, you just need a sentiment. This one was a sentiment. These were sentiments. There are birds that are stamped on here, but if you may have other birds in your stamping arsenal. And then we went with the rainbow. And taste the rainbow. Well, I mean, it's everything but green, but I think that Kelly won't mind because Kelly likes her least favorite color is green. So I'm going to see if she realizes we didn't put green in here, but we thought it looked just fine without green. So don't say you guys miss green in your rainbow. If there was one more die that was small, like this small, we would have made the green, we would have snuck the green in here and had purple last, but there wasn't one more small die. So yes, we understand. We don't have green in our rainbow. So, all right. And then you're going to cut your little cloud bottom. And so, yay. That is what we have for ink, paper, scissors. This is awesome. A big time saver when looking for something. Yay. Good, good. Oh, good. I'm glad you think that, Debbie. That book is going to be amazing. For when you're looking for something or when you are designing or when you want to share it with friends and family. So, these are the 5 cards. It's a normal ink, paper, scissors price. It's going to be, if you want mailed, $41, and it's $34 for those that are coming in person or doing perch pickup. And you do not, I'm repeating this, I mean, this sentiment does come from here, but you could easily find a longer sentiment and stamp part of it at an angle here. And if it was photopolymer, you can kind of bend your stamps to fit, and you can make it look arched. But, so, yeah. And then that one on the inside says so very much. And we put a little hot air balloon. So fun times. All right. That is ink, paper, scissors for February. And then if you didn't see it, we showed off the Let's Just Stamp for February as well. We are using Memorable Blooms. And we went with these cards right here. So you've got your blackberry with freesia, a melon with summer splash, and then we did daffodil with summer splash. And yeah, so that's featuring Memorable Blooms. You need some sort of stamps with this one. Whenever we do Let's Just Stamp, like what we're doing today, you need some sort of stamps because we use most of the stamps that are in the set. And so you need some, this is your whole blank palette. You can stamp something on here, and then you can stamp something on here. And yeah, so that one's for next month, showing that off in advance. If you missed, share a recipe, create a card, inspire others. Millie Kindle sent us her recipe, and then this is the card I made with it. And Millie's card... has a train on it. I set it somewhere. It might even be upstairs. Okay, Millie's card had a train on it. It was white too. Very monochromatic. So good. Okay, so now I got to share that with you guys so that you're in the loop on all of that good stuff. And a reminder that tonight we have Mystery Card Night is tonight, and I did get Clue 1 published at 11 o'clock last night. I had a couple people reach out to me asking if they missed it, and nope, you didn't miss it. We just were a little behind on the 8 ball on that. It was hard to coordinate with Jolene, and she had a busy weekend, and we got Clue 1 at around 11 o'clock last night, and I published it by 11:30. So, all's good. And we have a fun card for you tonight at 6 p.m. Central, and then Kelly will be live with you guys on Thursday morning for Paper Pumpkin, and around, like, Kelly starts at 10, and then for those of you doing Rose Coleman's class, Rose has her Technique Club class featuring Wildflower Birthday. She has that at 10:30. So they're going to kind of overlap. One's on my channel, one's on Rose's channel. If you need to pick and choose, pick whichever one you want to watch first and then watch the replay for the other one, or catch the replay on both of them. And then yay 2 times with me today. Yay, yes, exactly. And then the other thing is Gina will be live maybe on Wednesday. I'm not quite certain. I have to look at the calendar, you guys. I didn't pull it out before I started. So, all right, good stuff. Lots of stuff coming up. But there is a class next week that features Hearts of Elegance. I have Oodles McOodles of this of these kits. I think I have like 20 left of this class. In case you guys are looking for the easy button on some Valentine's Day cards, you only need sentiments on these. And then I have an ink, paper, scissors next Thursday night featuring the daffodils, and it's almost gone. I want to say I only have 1 or 2 left. So I'm trying not to even show them at this moment because what will happen is I will oversell and I'll have to tell people no, unless I make 8 more. And I haven't decided if we're going to make 8 more because we're already starting to cut and prep for February. So I just know that there's not a lot left. If anything, there's less than 3. So, okay, let's get going on the zinnias. For this class, this is the stamp set that is featured. We use Simply Zinnia and Softly Said. And I was going to look to see if they're still available. So Stampin' Up! Changed their last chance and clearance stuff. And so the Simply Zinnia dies are still available, all right? And we have here the stamp set is still. So what they used to do is they used to say that they were going to be done on a certain day, and then they wouldn't be available. But what they did is they moved them to the last chance. And as long as they're available for last chance, they're going to stay there until they run out of stock. So we were actually worried that when they moved these to the last chance, that they were going to end them on the night of the 6th of January, because that's when the catalog ended, and that's when I thought that they normally would end this kind of stuff. But they changed their policies and guidelines for last chance. And so it's so awesome. We're doing this class, and the stamp set and the dies are still available in case anybody still wants to get it. The Softly Said, Softly, that looks to be gone. That one was also moved to the last chance list, but there's sentiments. You could it's not there. You could easily interchange the sentiments so that you use something that is available. So the cards that we have for you today are these 3. Ann says they're one of her favorites. I have to leave for my appointment. Okay, Connie Moore, we'll catch you later. The heart cards. You love the heart cards. Hopefully your package will be delivered tomorrow. Well, as long as I have some of you that are watching that are getting this class, I'm going to just put it out there. I haven't sent the email yet, but because your packages are starting to arrive, we put in enough gold ribbon for 5 inches for the main part, but we did not add 4 inches for the overhand knot part. So for those of you who got Happy Hibiscus with me, you're going to be able to pull from your roll of ribbon. And for those that have the gold ribbon, you could just pull your 4 inches. And if you don't, then we can mail you 4 inches of gold ribbon. We had class on Saturday, and we figured that out, and that's how that goes. So, hi, Brenda Lovelace from Cold and Freezing Houston. Yes, join the club here. So we're going to make these 3 cards today. I wanted to show you what I have left. We over-kitted for this class. So this is what I have left, in case you're wondering. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's probably 20 in here. We over-kitted by a lot. So last year, for the Let's Just Stamp, we had detailed dogwood. And we made 68 of them. And so we went with 68 for the Zinnia, just because we thought, well, we're coming out of Christmas. People are ready for crafting and creating. And now we have like 20 left. And I don't know if you guys loved the dogwood set a lot more than the Zinnia set. And maybe that's what's happening. Or because you think you need to have these exact stamps for this. But if you don't, I feel like anybody who's doing this class with me, hi Jennifer Summers. Yes, today is a holiday. It is Martin Luther King Day. And we also have an inauguration. So I have my patriotic shirt on today to support the USA, right? With our holidays and our inauguration, right? Why not, right? Well, actually, I went to my laundry pile and it was the top shirt. So I'm like, okay, well, it makes sense, right? What does it say? Faith, family, and freedom. God bless America. Yes, see, it made sense to wear that shirt today. Okay, perfect. So if you guys are not using these 2 stamp sets for this class, give a shout out. Tell us what you're using, because I know this happened with the lovely Nature's Sweetness one, that you guys didn't have that. And when people started to say they used the magnolias instead, or they used something else instead, then all of a sudden a few more sets left, or stamp kits left, because people were inspired by something that they currently owned. You should have your golden ticket with your card kit. Simply Zinnia, Let's Just Stamp, and then January 20th to 25. Now, I'm going to put this out there. So you guys, that guy just, not that one, but that one just doesn't want to stay. It was like, meh. Okay, so that sounded really like, if somebody's listening in the background and they heard that, they'd be like, what is she talking about? So when we mailed out your packages, it was done that we put a couple classes together in the clear cellophane. So in a lot of cases, if you got the January monthly class and you got the Let's Just Stamp, we put them in a cellophane together and it looks like one class. And I've had a couple people call and say that we forgot to mail them a class. And in all, when they were in, I say, well, can you just look inside the cellophane and see what you find? They find it, okay? So just be on the lookout that you are maybe looking for this class and it's behind one that's in the same cellophane that it is, okay? All right, hi Rosie Prouty from Los Angeles, yay! I'm glad you're here with us. Okay, so golden ticket's important. We're gonna start with this card right here. It's the middle one, only because I get these Post-it notes, which means I have something wrong with my kits. I don't know what it is, but usually they want me to use it as a learning experience. So, all right, there is an envelope. And this is the one that is the blueberries that are of the bushel kind. And we are gonna be using Thank You So Much. And also, well, okay, so we're not using Softly Set on this one in particular, which is fine. Oh, one moment, please. Did you guys forget we didn't do roll call? All right. Oh, the Blackberry Bliss one I used. A Birthday Wishes from Simply Said. Perfect. All right. First on our list, Janice Ormiston, who is currently on a cruise in Hawaii, I believe. So she's not with us today, but she'll catch the replay. Mary Lemke, Donna Grushke, Barbara Rudolph, Linda Scott, Sherry Everett, Pat Fleming, Leslie McMinn, Debbie Lindauer, Trisha Fagley, Jenny Knutson, Karen Woods, Nedra Dover, Sherry Martin, Debbie Gast, Faye Godby, Susan Bellamy, Angelique McClendon, Doris Monson, Connie Moore, Lisa LaFramboise, Kathy Showalter, Julie Bontringer, Mary Carls, Karen Wetstein, Annette Rollin, Feline Mays, Laura Sullivan, Julie Bierschbach. Oh, one moment, please. Hi, Melanie Foy. Carissa said Nature's Harvest would work if you don't have the zinnias. Very good. Thank you for that suggestion. All right, Julie Bierschbach, Jennifer Summers, Lynn Beasley, Sandy Coy Emery, Patty Wright, Kelly Gibson, Rose Garibaldi, Vicky Rodriguez, Nicole Herrick, Tundra Hudson, Vera Anderson, Amy Ponce, Karen Kotzen. Very good. All right, so we got that done. We'll come back at the end of class and do a door prize for somebody who placed an order to get this class for free, and a bunch of you gals are here. I always like to do a shout out to the people taking classes with me because they're supporting me in my small business, and I want to personally thank them. And also, in case I forgot or missed saying your name, I maybe forgot to get the sign up done or missed getting the sign up done, I like to do that so that if you don't hear your name, you can reach out to me right away so I can get you your card kits, right? That's so important that we don't miss that. All right, so we're starting with the blueberries of the bushel kind, and we'll take this card out. And this one uses the Thank You So Much, and then we have the words fail to express my gratitude, and then it's the big Zinnia guy here. I think we used all the stamps except for maybe that one. It's a little dotty thing that adds texture to your cards. And then this one uses the big E block. I think for this one, we'll use this guy right here. Looks good. And then for this Thanks So Much, we'll put him, Kitty Wampus, on that block. And then for this one, he fits really nicely on this E block. Perfect. Okay. In your kit, you will find some gemsies. They are the sequins that are part of the sale-a-bration. They're free with a $60 order, and they come in 4 different colors, white, 2 pinks, and a purple. And then here's some of the Daffodil Delight ribbon that is currently not available. It is out until the week of February 3rd-ish, and that's how it goes these days with some stuff going out right away. That is a vertical card, so we'll keep it like this. And then we have I call this the Plaster of Paris. It's an online exclusive, and it's maybe called Painted Plaster, but I just refer to it as Plaster of Paris because I don't know why. This would make sense to me. And then we have a little white rectangle for a sentiment. We have a little accent piece that's blueberry bushel that is a square. And then there's a white piece that is where your flowers are going to get stamped on. And then we have a little designer paper, and you do have to pay attention to this because the flower stems and the flowers are going a certain way. if you put it like this, they're gonna look like they're upside down. So you're gonna wanna make sure you keep that right. And that fits there, and that fits there. Perfect. So those will go like that. And then we have double matting on the inside. And that is because when I design with Diane and we do ink, paper, scissors, and let's just stamp, we always double mat. And for those that are just starting, we really try to not do die cutting or embossing. For this is like a beginner's class, but we have a really hard time not embossing because we just love embossing. So we did add embossing, but for those at home, if you're trying to recreate this card and you don't have a machine, you could leave this not embossed and it would look good too. I did have a little video back in July of 2021. It's referenced in the description for this video, and you're welcome to go ahead and watch that, especially if you are newer, to see some tips and tricks and the ins and the outs of card making. So I have espresso ink here, but because I did that as a video way back when, instead of redoing the video all the time, I can just refer you guys to it in case you want to watch it. Hi, Lynn Beasley. All right, so we're going to stamp on the inside here a zinnia, a set of zinnias, and I think what I did is I caught just one of them. So instead of trying to get all of them on, I just did one up and down the edge here. And when you ink up, you wouldn't have to ink up your whole, like you don't have to ink it all up. So you're really at this moment just getting the one zinnia that's on the left. We're going to put him, or maybe right around here. Perfect. And if you think that you don't like some of that stuff, you could have always pushed off to the right a little bit more and had a little less of him. But that's okay. I'm all right with that. And then now you can ink up the whole thing. And that's going to get stamped here onto this white piece. It just fits on here perfectly. It's really hard to see the white border when you have white underneath it, but I know the stem is going to be off the edge here, so I didn't want to not have that white piece of scrap paper behind there. All right, and I am doing espresso, which is water-based. So there's that. And then, so makes, for when we get coloring, it's going to make a difference. Here's our little white saying, or white piece for our saying. And this is one where I'm going to practice on my edge of my paper. It's uphill on the left, so I know I need to bring it down a smidge, and that should help. Now I've practiced, and I'm going to remember that technique when I come over here. I'm going to make the T down a little bit. Ah, good deal. Now it's up higher than what I'd want the whole thing to be. So if you want to re-stamp it, you could always do a second round and bring it down a hair. Just remember that the T, for me, needed to come down. Okay, that's good. I can live with that. Very good, very nice. All right, let's get glue happy. Now, on here on the inside, you're welcome to color this. You really are. Oh, we forgot about the words. Oh, man. Yes, we failed to stamp our inside. I would have normally stamped the saying first because, to me, the saying is a crooked saying. So let's just practice, because practice makes perfect. Okay, my E is going uphill. All right, I'm going for it. And if it's not good, I'll just flip it over. So my E was going uphill, so I'm going to bring my E down a hair. All right. Yes, queen. Okay. Very good. I can work with that. So now we could get a little bit glue happy. Our inside, and then our designer paper, and our embossed piece could all get glued. And I am the fan type of gluing multiple things at one time, as long as I'm opening up the glue. Let's get her done. With this embossed, it has very deep grooves. It's very textury, this embossing folder. So putting glue just around the edges is like less bond, it gives you less bonding. So that's why I put more glue through the middle. That'll help that hold that down. And then we can put this right onto, and I know it's upside down, but it doesn't matter right now. I'm just getting it on here. This goes onto our berry burst. mat, and then here's for our designer. Now, I have a hard time with this kind of stuff, like where one's going this way and one's going that way, but it works. I can handle it. And we made this piece of designer paper slightly bigger than the white piece. And I'm looking at the space here, I'm looking at the space up there, and I'm looking at the space there. And if I target those 3 areas, I don't care really what that one's doing, because it should fall exactly where that one is. And you could just game plan here. Something like that will look good. Okay, now we could glue this in as well. And that will be for our inside. Now is when we want to make sure we get it straight. Goes just like that. Perfect. Again, you could color if you want to. I'm going to let whoever wins this card color the inside. All right, so now what do you want to do with your ends here? I have mine angled on this side and that side. It kind of follows the angle of the edge here. And, oh man, I had to go get a scissors. So I ended up with only a ribbon scissors here. So one moment, please. We're going to get a regular scissors. And what is a regular scissors, you ask? It's one that says paper. So there we go. So I'm going to angle this. They're all the same, right? They're all like, but one gets used for paper, one gets used for ribbon, and one gets used for adhesive. And I just eyeball this. I'm not precise with rulers. I just kind of dangle the ends. And then for this one, you can grab some tear and tape. Look, see, it's a little shorter than that one, but that's okay. Then you can grab some tear and tape. And we're going to need 2 pieces. One is going to go down first. And you're going to take your ribbon and underneath the HA, or so the ha, underneath the ha, and I'm bringing it down at a little angle. And then bring it back up. And then bring it back down. And it makes it look like I did a bow, but I didn't. And you have just enough. And then we'll angle our ends. And then this ultimately is going to go right behind here. So by putting that little piece of blueberry behind there, it helps to pop, make the ribbon pop. Otherwise, it kind of gets drab behind here, I think. So that makes it pop. So we've got that staged and ready to go. And what we can do is put that over the top and let that sit for a moment. Okay, let's talk about coloring. You could use your blends. If you are into the blends and you have all the different color blends, you could definitely do berry burst blends. I have colored pencils for this adventure today. And I have the new color, so this is the old version. This is the new version. And there's just some minor differences in them. But Daffodil Delight is what I'm going to use in the middle. Let's go like this. Daffodil Delight is what I'm going to do in the middle here. And you don't have to be overly concerned. I don't try to stay in the lines and just get that middle area done. So we're going to need that one later too. Then I believe we used the garden green. The garden green came from this pack here. And I have 2 of them. One's open, one's not. But we have garden green, which is this guy. And I'm pretty sure that's what we used. All right. If I had a Vanna White here, I'd have her color in for me. But we did go with garden green on this one. It kind of brings out those darker greens over there. If that's in the designer paper. And don't worry if you get your streaky lines, because we're going to use a blender pen to smooth everything out for this one. All right, so let's get no rhyme or reason. So just kind of fill in all the areas here. And when you think you're done, you always find one more leaf to go back and color. Just the rule of how it works. All right, so we got those. See, there's one over here. I'd keep beep bopping all over the place. There's a little tip right there. All right, so we have our garden green. Now, total disclaimer here. The old one here, this was the existing oldest one. I've had this probably for 8 years. I don't know, a long time. If you have this one, I'd pull it out because there's a rich razzleberry in the back here. They got rid of rich razzleberry and Pacific Point, and then what they did is they came out with this one, and they added blue 42, and they added pecan pie. So they took out 2 and they added 2. And if you use Melon Mambo, just to see what Melon Mambo looks like this. It could work. So you can see Melon Mambo would match, okay? But if you have it, you could definitely pull out your rich razzleberry, and it has more of that berryness going on. And because I have it, I think I'm gonna go for it because it will match it very nicely. Definitely, if you don't have it, you could pull out, I think Berry Burst has some stamping blends, if I'm not mistaken, that you could use for coloring in your flowers. But these work great if you have like a little, I'll show you how I sharpen it, because you can see here it's getting kind of low there. I'll show you what I use here. I went to the Amazonian, the Amazon, and they had pencil sharpeners like this for, I'd have to say they were $3 for 3 of them, so they were $1. And they're just like a kid's pencil sharpener. And that's it. That's how I sharpen my colored pencils. You have to be very careful with colored pencils that you don't drop them on the floor. When you do drop them on the floor from the surface, it looks just fine. But what happens is sometimes they'll crack halfway down, and then when you sharpen them, your tips will be breaking off. But I just use a regular pencil sharpener like that. And you can see I'm not really caring what direction my colors are going. Like that. And you can see streaky lines. This is, I have an in and out relationship with colored pencils. I started using colored pencils way back when, because that's what they had. They actually had something called watercolor crayons, I think. I have all those yet. But before blends, they had colored pencils. And then they came out with blends, and I went through the blends phase. And then with blends, though, they dry out or the tips get demolished. And so when you do classes with them, it's really hard unless you tell everybody to bring their own, right? When they bring their own, then they're really good with them. Or you don't care because they're using their own. And so what we did is we've transitioned back to colored pencils because they work for class. Now, I think on here you can see that one was Melon Mambo. And now you can see on this one, I used the Rich Raspberry. And we'll do a side by side so you can see. But what we need to do is fix all that streaky line action. I'm gonna start with yellow first, I think. Yellow comes out of the color, the blend harder. So we're gonna start with green. And I don't know if I can zoom in even anymore, but so what's gonna happen is you're just going to take the Stampin' Blend and be careful. You do have to be very mindful that you stamped it with early espresso, or I did, and that ink will also bleed as you move this around. So you don't want to keep spending a lot of time going over the brown. You can see right here, I've already got this kind of buttoned up here. If you wanted to use a StazOn ink, they have the Saddle Brown StazOn ink, that would work. But I'm just going to, I lightly hover over and I'm grabbing the color as I go. No, this is, you're gonna notice this leaf right here is gonna be super cool. Just blends it. And if you're missing ink anywhere, or not ink, but if you're missing colored pencil anywhere, you can move it into that area and it helps to add the color in that area. Again, be very careful because that brown ink will bleed. There's a stalk right there. And I have green in my colored pencil. So I can even go and add, I missed a little bit of the stalk there. So there's the green. And then you have to take and wipe out the green from your blender pen. And then you come back in here and we're gonna go for the glory here. See how it just spreads the color all around? Again, you wanna go over one spot and not multiple times. Just do a really good job one time, and then you won't risk that brown going everywhere. So that colored that in nicely. So you can see that's what it looks like after, and that's what it had looked like beforehand. So same concept, and wherever you've got these white areas that you missed putting with the colored pencil, make sure you hit them when you're sweeping through here. It's magical. So going back to like watercolors and then blends, and now I'm back to this because I love watching this blending happen with the blender pen. These blender pens will be able to, you'll see them in the colors and more, like the color collections and more section. You can get 3 of them. I think it's $12 for 3 of them. Super cool. You can also do shading with colored pencils. There it is. All right, and then the only thing that's left would be the yellow. And just a little bit, not much. The yellow is hard to get out of a blender pen, so I wanted to save that one for last. Okay, voila, as Kelly would say. Let's zoomer back out, and there we go. So this one, we popped this up with the dimensionals, and I have a sheet right here of the big guys. Don't worry if you practice on the back like that. You generally won't see it. And then this one's going on here, kind of like that. Wanted to make sure you could see some of that designer paper. And then what this happened is we're going to take part of the waxy paper off, and we're going to pop that up. And then the same thing on this side. I'm just going to pick a little bit up, and we're going to grab one here and then pick these off. How do you decide when to use blends versus colored pencils? I think it just depends on what it is I'm coloring. You could definitely use blends with this one. We do find that we use blends not as much as colored pencils these days because it's so much easier. For me, I don't know. I like the magical experience of the coloring. But you could easily have used blends for this. I think it's whatever you're like, what you're more comfortable with. Don't forget to trim your little tails here at an angle. Button them up. Oop, he got crooked. I think can be a personal preference, Brenda. And what I really like is that the blends are very economical. Not blends, sorry. These colored pencils. You get all these colors, and this is, I don't remember if it's $12 or $15. And I don't know what this one is, but I feel like for 25 bucks, you get all of these colors, where for $25, you get 2 blend sets because they're $12 a piece, if I'm not, or $11 a piece, if I'm not mistaken. So I feel like if you get the colored pencils, you have a lot more variety of color right off the bat. So that's going to go here, and I think that's going to get popped up, which is ready, and then we're going to put a little bit of liquid glue here, and so there's an open area right there. That's where I want this to show, cover up, I should say. Now this I want straight. I guess when I look at the card, I want the words to be straight. So that's what I'm concentrating. Good question. And what we could do potentially is bring it down a hair so you see more of the flowers. Okay, I'm good with that. So slightly different than this one. That one's up higher. This one's down a little bit lower. Both look good, but you can vaguely see a difference. These flowers, those are with Melon Mambo. Those are with the Razzleberry. Either one would look perfect, depending on whatever one you have. That's what I would go with. Okay. And you can see here, I was practicing on the back side of that. Well, then you should have your gems. And what we did, so there's 2 big and a small, or 2 small and a big. And let's see here, put that there, and then this guy there. So we had the 2, and then this one I put over here, but on this one I felt like it looked better there. Or if you don't like it there, you can always pick it up and put it in a different spot. You can really see it. So whichever. And if you want to Stella anything, if you Stella where you use your colored pencils, it's going to make it blend and smear. So you have to be quick and wispy with it so that that brown doesn't get smeared around. Because if you keep going over this, I promise the brown will get smeared all over. So we'll just do that for now. And then you still have to wipe out your Stella pen so that you don't have the color in the Stella for the next thing that you work on. There it is. Now, whoever gets this card is going to get to color that in. All right, so we got 1 done. Yay, very nice, very nice. Okay, so then there's another one. Let's see what this one is right here. It's a white. Ha ha ha. We're going to save this one for last. I was going to say a white base, but it's not. All right, so this one is the blackberry with the mossy meadow. Tyler's favorite color is the mossy meadow. And let's pull everything out for this one and see what happens, why I got this one. That one's done. We'll go over here. So in this one, we forgot, oh, I'm glad we did this one first. Okay, you're gonna find these gems in here. We forgot to kit them in this card. And instead of having Annette drop down this pink ones, she would have had to open up every flap. And so what we decided is we're just gonna put them in this one. So when you get this one open, pull these out and actually put them into this other card kit over here, right? Just drop them down in there because that's really where they belong, right? So there you go. Now for this one, we have here some gems. We'll just set them over there. Oh, I know why I get this one. We were out of the adhesive backed purple sparkle gems, these sequins, and so she only gave me 2. I think that's why I got that. This is actually the Zinnia embossing folder. I don't know if that's current or not. I have to look that up if that carried over. I know it's probably last chance because they probably put everything last chance. But that'll go on the top. Then you have a strip here for your celebrate. This is for your zinnias. We're going to stamp those momentarily. You have a piece of vellum. Vellum is officially retired, but I use vellum a lot. I use it when I want to use it because it adds just the right element to a card. And you can pick which side you want here. If you want the flowery side or if you want that side. Your call, whatever you choose. And then you have 2 mats for your inside, the white and the blackberry. And then you have some of this ribbon, this blackberry bliss ribbon. Now, I'll be honest, I know when we designed this, it was current, but if you're wondering if any of the stuff is current or not, I, at the moment, go right to the online store and type stuff in. It says it's on last chance. So this, if you like this ribbon, like you got this kit and you've not experienced this, it is available for $9. It's $1 off for that right now. And then you can take your bone folder. So Debbie said she copied stamps with sentiments, can look for a particular, I copied stamps with sentiments, can look for a particular sentiment. She took it away. Debbie, I was trying to figure out what you were writing. All right, so let's go to this one because this uses our espresso again. And we've got that ready to go. So let's grab that Zinnia trifecta stamp here. And we're going to stamp that right onto this piece. And you have just enough. And then on the inside of this one, we did the same thing. We stamped it just on the side. So let's set you off to the side. We'll grab this. And just put a little bit off to the side here. I did a little bit closer on that one. I mean, it does show a little ink up there, but I'm not going to worry about it. And then we have the Celebrate. So the Celebrate comes from You're Simply the Best. No, it comes from Softly Said. Better than all the rest. All right. That's what when I hear the word simply, that's the song that comes to my mind, in case you're wondering. All right. Celebrate. Celebrate. Let's see how you stamp down here, my friend. Okay, good deal. And then we can put that right onto our label. Nice. And then, do we have anything on, oh, thinking of you. Very good. Thinking of you. Let's pull you out of here. And we can grab, will it fit? Just barely. We're going to go for it. That's going to go on our inside. Our thinking of you. Celebrate. Thinking of you. Do I want thinking of you? Nah. I think what we're going to do, this would be a really pretty birthday. Well, it could be thinking of you. I'm hesitating on stamping thinking of you in here. Well, whoever gets this can write it into a birthday card if they want. They can always say happy birthday in writing. I can hear my volume was turned down. That's good. I'm glad you figured it out. Vellum pieces were in the December 24 paper pumpkin. See, they still use vellum. I'm hopeful that in the new annual catalog, they come out with something vellum related. That if it's a smaller pack or maybe it's a 6x6, whatever it needs to be, we need vellum. All right, I think, okay, so going back to this piece, we are going to pull the dies. Now, we talked about that we don't try to use dies, but if you have the dies, there is going to be a die in here. And I'm going to pull that one out because we'll use that for the next card. And this gets used for the next card. And then we need this guy right here. We did do a game night last July, I think, that featured the Zinnias. And that was a fun class too. So in a moment, I'm going to go ahead and I'll die cut this. But I like to do, I have something to hold on to when I don't die cut it right away. So in your colored pencil set here, find the Old Olive. So we used Old Olive with this one instead of the Garden Green. It matched really nicely with the Mossy Meadow and the Blackberry. So another one where we're going to just go to town here, coloring all the foliage first. And then I think we used, you could use crushed curry for the yellow, or you could use daffodil, whichever you prefer. All right, a stem down here. Now remember, there's a stem right there. I had forgotten about that. And then a little here, like that. And then there's a little tip right there. Gotta get that. Perfect. So we'll get that done. And then this is one where I believe we probably did use the rich raspberry on these. All right, good enough. For now, I'm good with that. So if you do have, I would grab the rich raspberry, and then we could do the yellow again. They call me Mellow Yellow. And then, perfect. Okay, so we'll leave yellow out because I know we knew that in a bit. Hi, Jeanette from Australia. All right, we get to go back and feel like deja vu here. So you can do shading with colored pencils too, and you can go out the lines just like I did. And I think you can grab a pencil eraser because they're colored pencils if you go outside the lines. Not so much. That didn't work. But I wonder if you use the ink eraser, if that takes off some of that, if you go outside the line. Yep, that worked a little bit better. Perfect. All right, so back in to our flower coloring experience here. Flower. Let's zoom so you guys can see a little bit. All right, and then we'll go back to this, guys. You guys get a little coloring tutorial here. I feel like when you use colored pencils, there's a lot more forgiveness than using blends too. You look at me just scrappy coloring here, and when we're done, it's gonna be amazing. These will last as long as you craft. As long as you're into stamping and card making, these colored pencils, I can't say, I think the one that I used the most right here, it's gotta be in this one. I have a cherry cobbler here, this one. This cherry cobbler gets some love. If you can see how short he is compared to the other one, he gets some love. Other than that, these things, these colored pencils, if you invest in colored pencils, I feel like these will be a coloring tool that you'll keep for ever. long time. Long time. The blends you might be replacing, like the Stampin' Blend, those, if you get a pack of 3 of those, those will last a long time too, as long as you keep the cover on. All right, so we got that done. Again, I used Rich Razzleberry, disclaimer, that's no longer available, but we're gonna start with this. And which one do we, we'll start with green again. So you guys are watching. It's magical. It's magically delicious. It just softens it so much, and all that white just goes away. And if you miss a little area, you've got the green in your pencil. You can button that up. Let's get over here. I don't generally ever use stays on. And if you watch me, how often do you ever see me do stays on? Even doing stuff like this, I don't do stays on. Definitely could, but it's just being cognizant to not keep going over. Because if you keep going over too, it's just gonna get pilly on you. Hi Penny Powell, my sunshine friend. Popping in late, but the animals and hubby are fed. Good, that's always good, get that taken care of. There's a little bit right there. Okay, get that green out. Move over to the pink. So this is where it's always so amazing. Look how scrappy that looks. Okay, let's go for it. Look at that. See, I had missed all those on that edge, but because I have this color in my pen, the blender pen, it just picks it up and moves it around. See, so cool. Okay, let's do this one. Love it. Very good. Okay, there's another one. If you think you need to touch up anywhere, you can still do that just so lightly. Okay, and then over here, get back this way. So I'm a righty, so I tend to have a tendency to move things so that I don't have to move my hand. There it is. See? No longer scrappy. And if you feel like you missed anything, you still got a little pink in the tip of the pen here, and then when you're done, find a good spot that you can get rid of it, like I'm just wiping it out here. And then, oop, there's still some there. And then we'll get the yellow here. And done. Oh, you could have even been going here because we're going to be cutting this out. See how much there's yellow in here. And I'm twisting as I do this, and you end up getting more yellow. Oops, you end up getting more yellow out. Yellow just seems to not ever want to leave. Perfect. We did say that we're going to use the die on this and bring in the machine to do that. So it's so important. I have this low-tack artist tape, and I'll line this up because you've invested all this time and energy into this flower. You don't want it to move on you. So we're going to do a little bit of that low-tack artist tape in a couple spots. And for those that don't know die cutting, we have our platform, and then there's an adapter plate. I use a magic mat on the bottom here. Helps for cutting. And then put that guy right there, and then a clear plate. I look at it before I run it through too, not that it shifted on me. Okay, so there's that one cut. I could have, if I don't have a die cutting machine, I could have easily fussy cut it with my scissors if I wanted, my paper scissors. So just because I use the die cutting machine doesn't mean that you have to. If you don't have one, don't stress, just cut it by hand. Okay, so that's for that. And I think we'll move these out of the way. And what we could do is grab our tear and tape. And you're gonna want to have one waiting in the wings. And then one we're gonna put down right away onto the back of the Celebrate. And we're gonna do a loop, and a tail. And underneath the EB is where I'm gonna start it. And I'm gonna capture it, just the end of the ribbon here. And I'm gonna make a short loop. And as I make that short loop, I'm bringing it closer to the C. So I'm catching it back here on the tear and tape. And then I'm gonna bring it back slightly angled and make a little bit longer of a loop, catch that tear and tape, and now I'm gonna bring this back at an angle like that. And when I have that all set, I'm gonna flip it over and I'm gonna put the tear and tape down to sandwich it in between. And so now that's ready to go. This one is gonna get prepped with some dimensionals. So we're gonna put a few at the top. And when you have the small ones, they work perfect inside the leaves like this because they're a little bit smaller. We can put one in there. I'm not gonna worry about the stems. We're gonna leave them flat. And then what we can do is a little bit of gluing. So we'll come back over here and you have to decide what you want. You want this side or you want this side. And what you could do is stage both of them and see what you like. So put that vellum there and then you could set your flower there. And you might love this or you might think, oh, that's a little busy, right? So that's where it's up to you. So I'm gonna leave that side with the glue, and then I'm gonna glue these two things right off the bat. I know I love this side, but for this card, I think I like the more ombre look, or ombre. And then we have here, this is darker. It's a little dark, but not as dark. Figure out what you want for the top and what you want for the bottom. I think I'm gonna put that for the bottom. And then you also have to decide if you like that side up or if you like that side up. One looks more bubbly. I don't know how you can even see. Okay, so there's that side. And then that side's more bubbly to me. I like the less bubbly side. So if you have to measure, 3/4 of an inch would be my guess. Yeah, about 3/4 of an inch over from the left on the top and the bottom. And then this one goes right onto the blackberry on the inside. Like that. Then with your paper scissors, you may have to trim this. We would rather have it long than too short. So this way you can trim some of the designer paper off, and then it's flush on the bottom. And then what we could do is glue both of these in now. Or I should say on and in. Let's go like that. So this one is going to go on the top. And these are Mossy Meadows, Tyler's favorite color. And I absolutely love Blackberry Bliss. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I absolutely love it. So this card speaks to Tyler and to me. And then this will be our inside. So this person could be celebrating for whatever reason, and then you're thinking of them. All right, so for the vellum. Vellum is a tricky thing. If you put glue behind here, you'll see it through. So what I'm gonna actually do is I'm gonna pick my backs of my dimensionals off here, and we're gonna place this right onto the vellum. And I'm gonna use my sample here as a guide. So I'm close to the top there, close to the left, and something like that. And now that I have this on the vellum, now I could either use tear and tape or liquid glue or glue dots to glue this down. But when I use liquid glue with vellum, it gets warpy on me. Like it kind of bends and it's not very, it's weird because of the liquid with the vellum. So I tend to use tear and tape. And because I know now what's covered up, I can put the tear and tape on the back like that and no one will ever see where it is. Where if you'd put the tear and tape here and along the edge, you would definitely see it. And if you feel like you need more, you know that there's going to be a label actually that goes right here. So in all honesty, you could even put some tear and tape just like that on the bottom. All right, so this is centered top to bottom and then with the purple designer paper left to right, like that. And then this gets popped up with your dimensionals. Hey, Judy Sharp. We got 1, 2, and 3. And if you wanted, you could add a little glue here to these guys. With such a small amount, that shouldn't matter so much. And then you can see a little vellum on the left-hand side here, a little on the bottom. And if you want to get that leaf tucked, I didn't do it on that one, but if you bring it down a hair, you can have that leaf kind of tucking over the top of the Celebrate, which is kind of cool. I have it up higher so you can see more. So this one, you can see more vellum here, where on this one you see less. But the leaf tucking over the top kind of gives it a little character. I do like that. And then what you can do is grab your ribbon scissors, trim that tail at an angle. And I have 2 gems here, but I have my sequins are, these guys, I opened up another pack since kidding. So I'm gonna put a big and a small here, but I only have another small one. So I'm gonna put my other guy, whatever you have, big or small, can go on the edge over there. And when the time comes and I stand up, I'll go get more. I'll go get another one. And we're just going to touch this up a little bit. A little bit. I waited in between and it's dry again, so that helps. Okay. And there we have 2. What you could do with your Stella, if you hover over the top of the embossed piece, you get some Stella on that. And go around that really lightly. Sometimes your Stella can be overperforming, and this might not be so good, but my Stella is just enough. You could also, if you wanted, add a little bit of Stella in between where the vellum is exposed. Just a little bit. And there we have 2. All right. Any questions on that one? Looking good, doing good. The last one is the one that we built ourselves up for. This one's going to be our working out card. All right, so let's set this guy over here. So far we've got these 2 done. We went from no die cutting to we could fussy cut or die cut this. And now we go to this last one. And this last one, there's quite a bit. So you're gonna need for this last one, something with flower, like a head of a flower, and then something with leaves. And let's just see here if, oh, it's a little wet. Okay, let's clean this. And then we'll get this out of here. And oh, let's not hit the card with that. We'll get this guy cleaned. And then for this one, we have just because. And on the inside, it says, thank you. So we're done with the thinking of you. We can swap that out. And then the grateful. It's good to get your stuff cleaned up as you work with it, just so that it's not all in your space. If you're like me, you stamp in like the smallest space available. All right, so we need now thank you and just because. So that's this really long one. And then thinking of you can go back. So this is what happens with mine. They don't generally stay sticking where they're supposed to, but I like saving this sheet in here so that it's easy to see if you're missing any stamps. Okay, Okay, perfect. And then this gratitude can come back, and we'll use this one here. And then we also need one for the big flower. Hi, Sherry Everett. Hello, my friend from Oregon. And then here's this one. And then this one's done. You said you're very late. Yes, you are, but that's okay. You know what we say. Better late than never. Hi, Holly. All right, so let's put these over here. And let's get on to this guy. And we need the last card kit. So let's look in this one. I have a post-it note on here, so they designated it as mine. All right, so with this one, I was gonna say we have a white card base, but we don't. What this white piece is for all of your flowers. And if you, for those of you who got the tutorial, if you look at it, I sent it to you yesterday morning before I started working on stuff. And got distracted. You guys, I cleaned all day yesterday. I have not cleaned my house in years. Really, it's been years. And I was on a mission. So if you guys got to the very end here, and I also called it out, this is a template of how to stamp this. In case you're wondering, you're going to stamp 3 of the flower heads, and you need 4 of the leaf sets, okay? That's in the tutorial, and I even called that out. I said on here, make sure to check out the stamped template for the white cardstock at the end of the tutorial to see the layout. All right, so that was noted in there. Hopefully you guys saw that. And for this one, we're using gray granite. And we need 3 of these. Okay, so 1, 2 scoops of Raisin Bran, and 3. And then we need 4. I wonder if it was supposed to be Smoky Slate. You guys, hang on. I know Smoky and Gray are very similar. Smoky Slate. Okay. I think I want to do Smoky Slate. Let's flip that over. Hang on. One moment, please. They're similar. And I saw it as I was stamping. Gray granite has more of a brown in it, where gray is truly gray to me. So let's clean and start over. And we can do that because there's 2 sides to the paper. Let's see once if this inks up good. All right. Good. And I might just stamp it on the back side so you can see. I'm going to show you. It's very, very not noticeable to the naked eye. But next to each other, you might be able to pick it out. This is more of a gray, and that's got a little brown undertone to it. So now you can see the difference. This is gray granite, that's Smoky Slate. We wanted more Smoky Slate with this one. Oh crap, I'm still playing with Christmas stuff and starting Valentine's. Now I play with the Zinnias and watercolor. So printing, yay! It's fun to play, as long as you have time to play. Make that time to play. All right, so 3 of those, guys. And now we need to fit 4 here, so let's see if I've got the room. Yes, right here. I'm going to fit 1. Okay, that's good. And then we're going to do 2 scoops and 3. Just try to get 4 on here, however you can get it. So there's our 4. And then as long as we have the ink open in our kit, oh man, I think that this was extra. Oh, Annette, you guys are going to have to tell me if you guys got lots of extra gems. She already had 2 in here, and I think she went back and put 3 because she thought she maybe forgot to put them in. So I'm curious, did you guys get a whole bunch of gems? Oh, maybe. And maybe she meant for you guys, I don't know what she thought. I don't know. It's all good, though. It's all good. As long as you have enough, that's all that matters. So let's go practice this just because. I'm just going to practice it on the back side of this. I want to just see if it's straight. Oh, it's good. Okay. Let's see if I can make that happen on here. Right about there. Sorry, you had all the hair up in there. Oh, it's crooked. It's going uphill just a little bit. So we get 2 chances. So let's just try again. And then we'll take whichever one's the better. And I think I need to bring my E down just a hair. Crossing the fingers. Let's make sure that guy is better. It is a little better. I can handle that. And then on the inside of this, we have thank you. Oh, and a flower. So let's go in here. Oh man, so many gems in this one. Let's go grab this white piece here. And we're gonna put the flower in the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner. Put the flower in the corner. And it's partly off the edge, that's okay. I like it to look like it's taking up the whole corner. Right, so that looks like that. And then we have the thank you. No, thank you. Thank you. Let's grab that. Didn't grab it. I like that thank you a lot. It reminds me of a thank you from the past that they used to have. I could not tell you the name of the stamp though. All right, let's grab this big block back. 5 total, 3 white and 2 pink. You know what? I think I realized what she did then. If you have, and Debbie, did you have the 3 pink gems in this card kit like I had? I don't know if you were watching that in the beginning. And I found them and I moved them over into this card kit. I'm wondering if she did that for me because I was missing a sequin. I was missing one of those sequins. So I'm wondering if that's why she gave me them there. Thank you. All right. Well, you're welcome. That's possibly what happened. All right. Now, this is our inside. I gotta move all these gems out of the way. There's that. Okay. You have a piece of designer. No, we didn't even talk about the designer paper, you guys. This is from that Bloom paper. I think it's called Bloom Impressions, and it's part of a sale-a-bration product. It's free with a $60 order. And here you get to pick which side you want as well for your zinnias. And we have this piece going right through the middle like this. And then we also have 2 silver ribbons. Oh, I got scraps, I guess. I think that they gave me 2 because this one's not long enough to do it. And so they gave me a second one to make it work. All right, that's probably what's happening. In a different color. All right, so then this is going to get glued on here. So let's do that. And then we can glue our designer paper right away. Let's get that done. We'll get the, oh, you could always use this side of the paper if you so desire. Whoa. All right, let's get this guy on here. Just a reminder to always dry fit things before you get glue happy in case you want anything a little bit shorter or cut down. And this is going right through the center of the Tootsie Pop. Crunch, crunch, crunch. And if you have any part that's overhanging, now's the time. Your blueberry bushel had its own gems. Okay, I think that's what happened then. I was missing a sequin, and she made up for it by giving me 3 of those. And then I put them in this one. So all good. So we can glue these. So let's flip these both over. Now this is Summer Splash. Happened so fast. Met a girl, cute as can be. And this color is so similar to the Coastal Cabana, where stamping and scrapping were always the fashion. They fell in love. And they're very similar. If you have Coastal Cabana and Summer Splash at home, you're going to want to sing when you play with and work with them too. Just ask Diane. Every time we say that, either one of those are the songs we sing. But they're very interchangeable. They're so similar. It's so hard when they're next to each other. It's like gray granite and smoky slate. They're so similar. Now these leaf foliage, they have an up and a down. So make sure you get this on the right way too. And that you put it with your zinnias going the right way. All right, so here's a great base of what we have going on. And then we need some tear-in tape. So we're gonna do the little bit of a ribbon sandwich again. So take one off, pass it around, and oh, I might need an extra one. So it's under the E and the C basically. And because I got 2 shorter pieces, we're gonna see what I can do here. It's still gonna be I'm gonna do under the C. So we're gonna do a loop and bring it back and then a tail. I think that will be good. And then, yeah, I'll end up having to need 2 more pieces because my piece is definitely not long enough. But we're gonna do 2 more pieces here. And on the bottom, so what I can do to be strategic, there's this little end here that's a little bit longer. If I cut that at an angle, I can utilize this piece right here and have that coming down at the angle, like that. Let's get it right about there. And then with this piece, I'm gonna make a loop and we're gonna cut it off. And look at this, I have all of this extra ribbon. It's not a lot, but there's enough to make a loop and a tail there. And let's put the tear and tape here. And it makes it look like I made a bow, but I really didn't make a bow. So something like that you could do. This, if you guys have one piece of ribbon, which I'm guessing you do, you could go shoo back and forth, like do a like down, up, down. Or if you want to do the bow like I did it, that works too. But ultimately, that's gonna be like this. I'm gonna maybe finagle this too. When I get all my stuff put together, I might be wanting to move this over a hair. And if that's the case, I can always pick this up and move it over. And then move this over. Okay, so we'll come back to that though. We have to figure this all out. You're gonna hate me or love me after you're done with this. I'm not certain. But, oh, there's so much coloring. On this one, we do bring in the Coastal Cabana because stamping and scrapping were always the fashion at the Coastal Cabana. So bring out your Coastal Cabana, bring out your daffodil, which we already have, and then you also need the Mambo, number 5 of the melons. All right, this is where if I had a Vanna White, that would be amazing. I don't, and so we're gonna go to town and we're gonna make this coloring experience go quicker than the average bear. So we're gonna start with our yellow, mellow yellow here. No rhyme or reason, just making it happen. We get a yellow action over here. Boom. Okay, yellow's done. That wasn't so bad. Now, at the Coastal Cabana, if you want, you can make it textured darker. This is really cool with when you have a little more space to work with. Hello, Diane Bush. Diane, I left you a voicemail on Saturday or Friday about your January technique class, okay? If you could listen to it and let me know if you got, not to talk business, but I left a message because I think you had wanted that class and it was with an order. So I don't know if I had seen an order, and that's all I was asking about. And so take a listen to it. So there, I went dark, right? So now everywhere else, I'm not gonna press quite as hard. And this is how you can get shading with the watercolor pencils. Again, I'm going around the horn here. I'm a righty, so go this way and then move my paper and I'll come back this way. And I think you guys can see that. It's a little bit darker where the veins are, and then I'm going to go lighter everywhere else. So awesome. We've got a couple of our newbies watching right now. So exciting. Stampin' Up! Is a great sign-up special, and they took advantage of it. I had 5 gals that are all twinsies that they joined on the 7th. Super cool. Right now you get an extra $30 in your starter kit if you want to join Stampin' Up! If you don't have a demonstrator that you work with and you want to join to get the discount and be a happy discount shopper, just let me know. We open our wings to newbies all the time, and we would love to have you join us. Super cool. Look at me, look at this. I'm going to town here. You don't have to overly complicate the coloring process. All right, scrappy leaves are good. And now it's the melon mambos of the number 5 type. You could also do blending with this if you're not blending, shading, I guess you could say. You could do darker. Look at me. This is going to turn out just fine. We're going to go like that, so darker. if you really wanted to, you could follow the lines and go around like this. But I wanted to show you that even if you don't follow the lines, it's still gonna look great. This is why I was going that route. But you could follow the lines, and then for the rest of this, we're just gonna do it a little bit lighter. I do have a glass mat underneath here. That really does help. If you're on a table or some work surface where you have divots or grooves in your table, sometimes that does show through when you're coloring. But when you have a glass mat like this underneath, it doesn't impact that negatively like that. All right, so far so good. So this is where I said you might hate me or love me. I don't know. You might love coloring or you might hate coloring. All right, so there's my scrappy flower there. To me, it's scrappy. All right, so here's if you want to do the lines facing the way that they go on the stamped image. I'm just going all the way around like this. Okay, so there's that. And now we'll just fill this in. So I like to not die cut them out first. I could have die cut all this stuff out and colored it individually. But when you have it all together like this, it gives you something to hold on to when you're coloring. You guys are getting a colored pencil workout today. Okay, and where it starts to hurt is right here. Like that's where I feel it in the wrist. It's like writing out 50 cards. Colored pencils is like the same thing. It's using that side of your arm here. And then there was one. All right. I wouldn't want to make 100 of these cards. I wouldn't even want to make 50. Maybe 10. I could see 10, but we'll see. When this is all done, it's going to look like that. It's going to be good. Very good. Could also go in circles. This one, when you color this many things, it definitely does use the colored pencil, and you'll have to sharpen it for this one, I'm guessing. If you didn't have that big of a tip, I didn't, so I'm getting down to the end here. But I should have enough. And this is the Melon Mambo. We could have used that very easily on the first card instead of the rich razzleberries. All right. This is about as much coloring I want to do for one card. All right. Oh, okay. Take a moment. Maybe that's when my arm was sore the other day because we colored a lot of flowers. I don't know. All right. Taking a little coffee break. All right. Are you ready to see the action? The magic happen. The action. All right. Which one are we going to start? We're going to do yellow last. I'm going to grab another scrap paper right here. I have one. We're going to start with the Coastal Cabanas. Okay, let's try. Let's go with this end. So there are 2 tips to the marker. I could see just highlighting one flower. Yes, you definitely could. Yeah, you guys, when you get this, you have this whole piece of white to do whatever you want with. All right, let's start this way. Let's get these scrappy leaves done. And I only say scrappy because I colored them scrappy. But when you get this blending pen out, they're not going to be scrappy anymore. All right, so there's that one. And you have the same problem you could with the smoky slate that you had with the espresso, but smoky doesn't seem to leave the aftermath that espresso could do. All right, so now you can see the difference. That leaf is done, and these are not. It just really softens it. So I may have colored super, super fast, but that just made it less painful for a little bit shorter period of time. All right, that's good. You guys are gonna be amazed more by the flowers, I think, than anything. All right, so there's another set done. And then let's get this guy. So you can see that the shading stays a little bit. It's a little darker through the middle. That just is based on how hard you press with the colored pencil. You don't want to be so hard that you break your pencil tip, but you can press harder and it'll make it darker. All right, very good. One more little guy over here. You guys probably haven't even seen any kittens. I feel like they're all sleeping. They're snoozing. All right, wunderbar. Okay, wipe that out. We're gonna go to the pink. Pinkalicious. All right, just to show you again my scrappiness. That's scrappy coloring to me. Are you ready for it? Let's see if you guys can see. Okay. So cool. Oh, I love it. So magical. All right, half the scrap is gone. Come back over here. We'll get these all tamed down. Go back over here. So you can't even see any of those lines. Okay, and then I just gotta go back over here and get this side. If I would have the magic of TV, I would have had 2 of them done already for you. But there was no magic today. All right, now let's look at this. All right, completely different. Just an awe at how that will, it just looks so amazing. I do find that hi Nedra Dover, I do find that if my lines were going that way with my colored pencil, I take the blending brush and I'm making little circles, and it may not look like it, but I'm doing little circles. And then sometimes I'll go straight depending on what area I'm in. If I do see lines like that, you can always go back really quick over them and take away some of that line action. Thanks, Holly. Cool. Again, if you had any little white area, oh, there's a gem right here. Ah. If you have any little white areas, you could come in and tuck in and get them cleaned up good. And then just a little bit up here yet. Done. Okay, so we got 2. No longer scrappy. And then there was one more. We're gonna make him happy as well. The first time I kind of went over there, there's still a little line action. So I'm gonna just gently go back over it one more time. And you have to be careful too with your blender pens. Sometimes they get dried out and they don't work so good. So you always gotta make sure you got a really good blender pen that you're using. If you see those lines, the gray is a little bit more forgiving. The espresso might have bled too much all over, but with this one, the gray is perfectly fine the way it is. I'll go this way. I see some lines back there, so a little bit more. There you go, and then one little spot, and then we're on the home stretch here. And this allows you to get up in where this yellow is too and bring it in really nice. Or if I was in the colored pencil, it didn't want to get in that close. There. Okay, our scrappiness is gone. All right, what's left is our yellow. Again, you gotta wipe this out. Otherwise you're gonna mix pink with yellow. All right, so yellow it is. There you go. And one more down here. Perfect. So you can get into some of those where the white was still showing and spread some yellow. Whew, okay. Now that was a little bit of a marathon of watercoloring. And now you spent all that time and energy, and your arm might hurt, your hand might hurt, and now you got to cut it apart. And this is where you got to be super careful, because if you have your dye slip on you, now you're going to have to make another attempt at coloring. So I'm going to do a rough cut. Oh, I am so sad to say I only have one dye too. Who would make 4 leaves with only one dye? We did. So, but there are 3 flowers and there's only one dye for the flower too. So that's how that goes. So we're going to have to run these through. And if you just go around and around, you'll find where the dye sits nicely on there. And then the leaf. So this is a little bit of a repetitive thing. You're going to have to either fussy cut or die cut this stuff. Let's move these out of the way. I'll bring the machine back in real quick. So let's move these. You can die cut. I know that some people like to only put one thing in their machine at a time. Oh, okay, whatever you want to do, that is perfectly fine. But I love to fill this up so that I can multitask here. So we're going to cut those 2 at the same time. See, that's perfect. And then I eyeballed. I was looking for those 2 together, and I found it pretty quick. And then this one, it's nice, very nice. Put this guy. Again, we're die cutting. We don't generally. Hi, big boy. How's my handsome kitten? Hello. Such a big stretch, my man. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Here we go. We got bigger Tigger here. Oh, he's a big boy. See, we got bigger Tigger. He just woke up from a snooze. Want to say hi to everybody? There you are. He's the big boy. You want to let me see for a moment? There you go, big boy. He was really tired. It's so cold outside, and they can probably sense that too. So, all right, here's another leaf set. We'll get that lined up just right. And you guys, with this low tack artist tape, I keep using the same piece over and over, right? It's okay. Eventually I throw it away, but I try to get as much use out of one piece as I possibly can. Where? And then we were done with this die. And I usually just store the tape right on the edge of my machine. You can see one's here. I got one over here. They're just all over on the machine. And I keep them until they're done. All right, so one more here, and then we can call this good. And you guys are probably going to want to see how this all goes together. It looks like a little bit of a floral arrangement, and sometimes those are hard to grasp how to put that all together. So let's grab it. You can see here, he stole my seat. That's how the kittens roll. Move your meat, lose your seat. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. 7 pieces. All right. How are we going to do this? I generally like for my leaves to be popped up on the tips here. So I'm going to do the small dimensionals. Whoa, I took 4 at one time. So let's go and grab each of those. And then we're going to put like that. All right, so those are prepped because there's a dimensional on the back side of all those. And these flowers really don't have any. Okay, so let's move these here, bring this in. And ultimately, there's a flower here. There's a flower about here. And then there's a flower. And we did do this one upside down. So it's kind of like that. So when you're at home, this is kind of about, like, I'd lay these out like this, and that's going to go about here. And then what will happen is these leaves are going to tuck in. Like this one will tuck in over here. All right. Now, whenever you make a sample at home, though, and you've already got your initial card, that is actually a cool thing because you can use it as a template or a guide to help you. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So we're going to start with putting some dimension, because this is popped up. And what we're going to do is we're going to, because I want it to be similar to that. So I kind of showed you how I would lay them down. But so let's say this guy here, I can set this here right over the top of it, and I can set my label right there. I'm going to capture it and pick it up. This is what using one of your own prototypes is. So let's say you want to make multiples of the same card. You can make prototypes. You know, make your prototype, and now this is going to go here. Now what's going to happen though is we don't have any more stick there because we already picked it up. But I don't want to add more height. So what I'm going to do is take my tear and tape and set that on there. And then now I've put that right over the top of it. I'm going to set this down, and it's going to pick that up. All right, and now over on this side, I've got a couple dimensionals there. So I can go ahead and put this right here, and I can pick that up. So this is a trick that you can do when you're at home making multiples of it. If you've got your first one and it's exactly how you want it, now you can go off of that. All right, so isn't that back look different? So now I've got that popped up and this popped up. I'm gonna glue a little, like I'm just gonna put a little line of glue right through the middle here. And I'm gonna do glue over here maybe. I don't wanna do too much because I wanna be able to tuck my leaves in. So now this, I have it down. So if you look here, this is a good finger width, like one finger width. This is more. So it's not centered top to bottom. It's actually down a little bit. And now we can get this on here, centered left to right, and a hair closer, like under the equator, the meridian. I don't know. I was going to try to say equator, and I said equadian, whatever I said. So, okay, so that's good. Now for these guys, we can pick these off, and we're not done though. We got to prep them with some mini glue dots. We really haven't used a lot of mini glue dots today. So let's grab our mini glue dots, and I'm going to put them right on the edge here. So the tippy tip is going to get the liquid or the mini glue dot. All right, and then we can take these off now. Well, I didn't mean for that to happen. I guess I should have done them one at a time because of sticking to each other. All right, for my friend Penny Powell, we're gonna rip this off right away. And now for the leaves. These get tucked in. So we have a little mini glue dot here, and we've got the poppy ups going on. This is gonna go here, like that. This one is going to go underneath here. Be careful, you don't wanna cover up too much of your because. This one's going to go up over here, tuck that little tail in, like that. And this one goes up over in here, like that. Boom! Okay, now, I like it. Mikey likes it. So, on this one, we use those same sequins, those free gem sequins that you get during sale-a-bration. And you get too big and a small or too small and a big. But we weren't done there. When we did the Regal Winter class, we ended up with oodles McOodles of this pinky gem. This one. So that Regal Flora, I don't know if it's still current. I bet you it is. If you go up here, they're foil gems. So if we type foil, these guys, that's what we used. We used the green, the blue, and the blackberry, but it left all these hot pink ones. It's like they didn't match anything in that class. So they're still current, and they are carried over. You can see they do not say last chance. So these are still rolling over for a while, but they moved to the online store because they're no longer in a quote-unquote catalog. So they're still available. And so I'm happy to report that. And so we put them in with your kit. We put 2 of them in because you know the rule. 5s, 3s, 5s, so odd numbers for your floral arrangement stuff. So we brought them into this one and they matched perfectly with the pink. So I don't need those. And so you ended up with 5 gems on here, a white and a pink, and then 2 whites and a pink up here. And that's how that turned out. I hope that you didn't find that too difficult. I think what you guys want to do is you could do something similar. You might not have my template per se, but you can see where that one was in relation to how much is here, and it was pretty much centered, and pick it up with your and then put this one down with about 3/4, 7/8 of an inch and like 2 finger widths, pick it up. And again, you can move these where you want to, like they're not set in stone. And hopefully you got your ribbon kind of in the nook of the edge of this flower and like in the middle of those. I guess that's what I was going for. So hopefully it wasn't too complicated and it turned out okay for you. I do want to Stella Ella Ella. What you could do is Stella, again, that raised area right here. Perfect. Okay. You could, if you want to Stella any of your flowering stuff to give it a little bit of pizzazz, but I'm good. I've colored enough today. call it good. All right. And hopefully you liked all that we did today. They weren't too crazy. I have lots of kits. Reminder, if you guys are just joining in case you were not quite certain that you like this class and you decide you want to, I have all of these available for the future. So if it's a year from now and you're watching this on replay, odds are that I will have kits available. In this class, it was $19 or 19 plus 6, $25 mailed, or it was free with a $60 order. If you're attending in person, Diane's got this class in person tomorrow night. It was $19, I think, or free with a $40 order. Just remember too, if it's sale-a-bration right now, so if you order $60 or more, you get to pick sale-a-bration items. And this paper was free with sale-a-bration. One of the options, these gems, the sequins were free with a $60 order. And I don't think there's anything else that I used on this class. But fun stuff. So let's bring them all in. You can tell me what your favorite is. We had lots of prettiness going on here. Kind of makes me want the spring and the summer to be back and not this 0-degree stuff that we have. And you guys could always take the time to color your insides if you desire. I think during the designing of these we did take that time, but it was a lot of extra. And what is it? It's only 3. Oh man, it's already 3:16. Oh my goodness. This class took a lot longer than I thought. It was all that coloring, you guys. So normally we're done with let's just stamp. We button things up a little bit earlier, but not today. You guys got a coloring watercolor pencil 101. Very good. Very good. Okay, so let me move these out of the way. All right. The Blackberry Bliss is Melanie's favorite. And it says beautiful. Oh, Rosie says the Blackberry Bliss as well with Mossy. Good. I'm glad you like that one too. I guess I think I would pick that one too. Not that they're all pretty, but I think I like that one too. The cards are stunning, Mary says. Good. If I would do this one again, if I could, I would move it all over a hair to the right, but I feel like it's okay. I got it centered top to bottom, okay, but I think I got a little bit more going on this side, and I could have moved it over just a hair to the right, but whatever. It's a card. It's handmade and from the heart. We always say if you want perfection, you go buy a Hallmark card, but who wants perfect cards, right? They're overrated. Instead, we like perfect kittens like that one. Look at this one. This lamb. Hi, baby. Oh, so tired. Oh, so tired. Yeah. Yeah, he stole my seat, you guys. So that's what I got. I'm going to bring back my book and we'll find out who is going to win a door prize. I know, isn't this horrible? Like you can't move a sleeping kitten, right? You feel bad moving your dog or your cat or whatever pet, any pet you have at home. Like you don't want to move them because they look so peaceful, right? So I'll bite one. I'll take one for the team. I'll bite the bullet here and I will stand into this. All right, so we have, let's just stamp. And I think we had, so I'm Jennifer Summers, you're watching. So you guys, I forgot to have Jennifer in for a drawing for the otters class. And I hate making mistakes and I always try to make things right. So Jennifer, I gave you 2 numbers. So I gave you 2 chances because you didn't get a chance on the otters. So we'll see if that helps your luck, okay? So I have 7, I believe, 6, 7. So I'm gonna put, over here, 10. We have 10. There are 10 for this one. So we're gonna do random number generator. And, oh, look at this, it's already set to 10. So let's hit the word generate. And when I hit generate, it's gonna pick a number between 1 and 10. So I'm gonna tap it and see what happens. 8. 8 it is, okay. 8 is over here. Rose, I don't think I have lead in here. Oh, I do. 8, Rose, I'm circling your name here. Rose Garibaldi. You are the winner of a door prize. And so what I do now all month long is I keep track of who wins the door prizes. And then when we do February shipments, if you have a February shipment, I make sure I do my best to get your prize in there. I've been trying to do that a lot, keeping up with it. And so Rose, I'll make sure for your February shipment, I get a door prize in there for you. And usually what happens is it's something that I have that's extra from kidding that we didn't need the ribbon or we didn't need a gem from something from the past. So it's usually a retired product and that helps me to not have an overabundance. I already have an overabundance, but it helps me to have not so much. So awesome. Yes, congratulations to Rose. I bet I could sit right here. I wonder if I can do this without squishing my baby. Here, let's go like that. I don't want to break your arm with my big bum here. Okay. Yay. Okay. Very good. There. Now we're both happy, right? Yes, you can warm my backside and I'll keep you nice and company. All right. So that's good. Oh, I do have a little bit of Happy Mail. So I will take just a few more minutes, everybody. If you want to see the Happy Mail that I've gotten here recently, I'll flip the camera back down now that I can sit. You should follow cat rude. I should follow cat rules. Yes, those are the cat rules, right? Don't move, leave a sleeping cat lie. All right, I have a little bit here to share with you guys for some more Happy Mail. I'll do that one last. So this came to Sherry Everett. You guys might recognize this one. This is from Wildly Flowering. It was the July Sweet class. I love it when I get my cards back. It's so awesome. And so Sherry Everett did this one. I do have like 3 of this class left in case anybody's interested in the Wildly Flowering. That was really cool. Now this one comes to us from Pat Smothers. It was super cool to get this size of a card. It fits in a little envelope like that size. I like it. And it's got the Stitch So Sweetly dies and mixed with boho blue and Night of Navy. I appreciate all your hard work and your team's hard work put into creating and prepping your classes. So I love the little 2 strips of designer paper on the side there. Oh, I have an idea for this one. Okay, I'm keeping this aside for an idea of a class. Okay, I love it. This one, you guys, is a little bit, this is from Sharon Perales. It's got glitter on it, so I have to be really careful. Otherwise, we end up with glitter. So there's a very little bit of glitter, but it's there. Sending happy thoughts to happy up your day. I loved the saying in that, but I have to be careful with the glitter because if I get glitter all over, Tyler doesn't like glitter. All right, this one is a Purplicious birthday card for you that you can send on if I like. So I love it. So this is from Chris Robinson. Chris, I'm not sure if you're still watching, but she made this really pretty card with the tulips from a couple of years ago. No one deserves a happier birthday than you. Very cool. I love it. I love the purple. And it is Purplicious, Chris. So good job. And then this one comes to us from Cindy Bassett. And if you guys recognize this, oh, the butterfly. It was like this. This was from the catalog launch party that I had, the catalog launch class from last May. And it features the eyelet embossing folder, some of that white ribbon that we're using now on the Everyday Arches class next month. And then this is from Unbounded Love. Oh, look at that. Very cool. She decorated the inside with an extra mat. And this butterfly is pretty unique. It was sticky over here, and I think it accidentally got caught. And so, but it does. It sticks right there. It's really cool. So that is from Cindy Bassett. And I got to put a little bit more stick down on that so we don't lose it. This one was from Jennifer Jones. Jennifer, look at what you did. I love it. you put Be Happy Stampers and then your name. So when you send Be Happy Stampers mail, then they know it's from you. This was from the January monthly class of last year. I think it was January monthly class. Super cool. I love this little envelope, sending love. And then she's got the little sign in here so I can reuse the card. So cool. This one is from Debbie Lindauer. Debbie did porch pickup when she drives back and forth north from Milwaukee. She's able to pop in and get card kits. And then she left me this card. It's really pretty from, it's a mosaic. I feel like there was a mosaic set from a couple years ago, and then she embossed it with the Tasteful Textiles embossing folder is what that looks like. One of my favorite folders. I think that's what that is, Debbie. Tasteful Textiles. And it's got little bees in it too. So cool. I love that mint ribbon. This one is from Mary Beesgrove. So Pat Smothers, if you're watching, when we talked on the phone, I told you that I thought I had a card. And so Pat called and she was wondering if I had gotten her card, which you guys back here was Pat's card. And I said, well, yeah, I think I got a card the size that you explained it. And it was Mary Beesgrove's card. And so it was really cool here. It's got the cherries on here. Life is just a bowl of cherries. And so this was the card I was thinking when we talked. So very cool. I love it, Mary. Very pretty. I love the cherries with the green and the red. This one is from Joanne Kahn. Joanne is from Fredonia, Wisconsin. And friends are kind to each other's hopes and cherish each other's dreams. So cool. This was an older Stampin' Up! Set too. I had that one. And yay, thank you for all you're doing, including your friendship. You're very welcome, Joanne. I appreciate you and being in my life as well. I love it. And then this one, the last one I have is from Gail Barden. Just one of those days. So over this. And it was a birthday card and another successful winter escape. And thank you for all you do for us. The friendship and learning you provide is priceless. So that's why we do it. We love to come together and unify you guys and share in our hopes and dreams and joys, right? All these cards are amazing. I love the sentiments that were all throughout them. And then lastly, I have one here. So if you did the escape with me, you would have gotten a little bag like this, and inside of it was a little Kleenex package that said sending sunshine, love, and big hugs. And so Anna came back to me and she brought me a gift back with the bag, and inside was a coconut and honey lip balm and a little baby hand lotion, which is perfect because my little glossy lips here that I've had this for, I've had this for 4 years. I only use this when I'm out here doing, because I have to have some sort of chapstick. So it's perfect because that's almost empty. And now I can put this little guy. I love it. Coconut and honey. It smells like Hawaii to me. And Florida. Coconut, that's where I get the coconut and honey is amazing. And then now I always put hand lotion on right before I go live because otherwise the hands get a little bit dry. So that's really cool. So I had a little gift, and then she also gave me a card. Friends are like seashells. You will collect them along the way. And so this is really pretty. And thank you so much for the opportunity to join the escape. Can't wait to get some cards made. And I love it, you guys. I love sharing this because she uses these see-through Post-it notes. So you thought she probably wrote on the card, but she has see-through, like translucent Post-it notes. And it looks like you write in the card, but then you can pick this off and reuse it. And you just need a Sharpie. So it's super cool with that. I love it. So that was from Anna Rebedu. And now my lips feel amazing. And the hair is still doing that thing. Oh yeah. So you guys, I stopped sleeping with a pillow about a week ago because Tracy Sorge had shared something that was a list of things of like recommendations. And one of them was to not sleep with a pillow. It keeps your spine straighter. So about a week ago, I started sleeping with no pillow, and I have a neck heating thing that I just wear because my shoulder started hurting last week. And so that helps to heat up my shoulder, but it keeps my head straight. And I feel like it's been helping me just, I don't know, not to have, they say that if you sleep with a pillow, you end up with like your neck going like this because your pillow has got your neck going up. So I've been trying to sleep now with my head back and my spine straighter. And I talked to my massage girl about this last week, and she said, yes, I would highly recommend not sleeping with a pillow because people's spines will be stronger and straighter without a pillow. So I'm working on that. I'm trying that. So I love it. Where do you get the see-through Post-it notes? I would check the Amazon. And you know what I should do? I should start sharing links to some of this stuff because it's so awesome. These see-through Post-it notes would be a pretty cool thing. I could, someday when I start figuring out the things that Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell, I could put list those links, because I guess other demonstrators do that too. When we have time, we'll start sharing those kind of links, and yeah, like affiliate links, I think they're called. So, but yes, I would check the Amazon for those see-through Post-it notes. I mailed your card on the 6th. You haven't received it. Oh, Holly, I have a few more pieces of mail. Today is today? Is the 20th? The 6th. There's no mail today. And I feel like there was no mail on the day of Jimmy Carter's funeral, which was the 9th. So we did have 2 days since the 6th. We have 2 days that there's no mail. So it's very possible. I have some piles of mail on I have a pile of mail on my table too. So this is all what I've been able to process in the last couple days. So it's very possible it's still there, okay? But and Holly, maybe I showed your card off already too. I feel like I've been showing Happy Mail here for the last few times, and I could have showed it off last Wednesday. I don't know if you watched the SCI class from last Wednesday. I had a bunch of Happy Mail that I shared that day. So hell, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look to see if it was in that pile. Forgive me, but sometimes when I have, maybe there was 10 cards here, and then there might have been 15 cards the other day, and since my birthday and Christmas were in there, it's a lot to remember all the cards all the time. So I try to show them off right away. Oh, big boy. Oh man, I'm sitting on you. Sorry. So yay! All right, we did it. We were a little bit long, but that's okay. Okay, good. Hopefully, yes. I'm pretty sure. I feel like I got it, but I don't remember when. It's already the 20th now, so it seems like I should have had it by then. But if I haven't, it makes sense why I didn't too. So, but all right. You guys, I'm going to let you go. We have Mystery Card Night in about 2.5 hours, 3.5 hours. At 6 o'clock Central, we'll be live. So what is that, 3.5 hours? There's a lot to do because it's 3:30. So we've been live for 2.5 hours. So in 2.5 hours, we'll be live with another class. So I've got lots of things to do. Chip, right? Let's get some things done. All right, you guys, lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs. We'll see you in a little bit. Bye.